YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Bag, man. Back at it again. And I have watched, as you can see, I watched a little bit of Marcellus Wiley um comments about the Shedeur Sanders situation. And it kind of intrigued me for the simple fact that he's the only person that I've seen so far that I've actually listened to. If I haven't heard your take, then I wouldn't know. But that the people that I have listened to that made this type of that actually made this type of analysis. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he didn't just off the bat judge Shador. He has his stance, which I still don't agree with his stance, and that's okay. But he does have the mind frame of the why. You know what I'm saying? Why is Shador taking or doing these things, even though he knows that it's going to get some type of press, it's going to get some type of backlash, or it might get looked at a certain type of way. You dig what I'm saying when it comes down to his actions in the locker room, not even in the locker room, but his actions, you know what I'm saying, when he does get interviewed, right? So we're going to listen to it and then we're going to respond.
I'm looking at him because I'm not trying to judge him. I'm trying to understand him. And I think I do. Because when you're trying to judge somebody, you're always talking about what they do. Not on this show. We're not talking about what Shedeur is doing. We're talking about why he's doing it. That's how you gain understanding. So I think
So now, since he said that, we want to try to understand why he's doing it. This is what intrigued me to actually watch this video, because it's been a lot of, I've heard Speak, I've heard Cam, I've heard the Arena with Talib and all them. Like, I got my who I listen to, right? I've heard some of Stephen A. Smith and Dan Orlovsky takes. I've heard, you know what I'm saying, just about the people that I actually watch. I watch them, but I also have my own opinion for the simple fact that I know football. I know sports. Especially now, I don't know all sports, but football, I've been watching football my whole entire life. I played football. Everything was wrapped around football. And I get Shedeur. If you have been the type of person to where as though you, not necessarily the black sheep, but like if you ever been the type of person that gains some type of attention for what you do, you understand, or you say you're the life of the party, or you're the life of the family, or you're the relative that when it comes over, it just lightens the mood, it brings a vibe to whatever got going on, right? Then you're like, if you not doing something, it's a problem. If you are doing something, it's a problem, because you're looked at as, you know what I'm saying, that guy or that girl. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, you don't. Maybe you're just a fly on the wall. But if you're a person that has some type of personality, then you understand, you know what I'm saying, where Shedeur is coming from. Because at this point in time, like, if I can't speak my mind, and it's a problem, and when I do speak my mind, it's a problem. It's like, I don't know what to do to keep myself sane. Now this is the part to where as though I want you to actually listen. And I think that he gets it, but I think he still has his stance. And I think that's the problem with people who actually look at Shedeur and see something. Like, they may understand it, or they may not understand it, but they gonna always have, that's my point, you're always gonna have this opinion of him because of how you feel, or because how you think things are supposed to be done. You feel what I'm saying? When in actuality, in his case, it is going to be different, because it is because of his last name. You feel what I'm saying? It just is. So you have to, and it's like, you know that, but you still want to critique him, or you still want him to act like a guy with no name, and that's just not the case.
when you are when you are him, and then you're not him, how do you respond to that? That's life. It ain't the actions, it's the reactions, right? It's how do you get up? And right now in this moment, I don't think Shedeur knows which way to get up. He can't sit comfortably being a backup to them. And you don't have to, but you also don't have to spaz.
Okay. So, when you say that he also doesn't have to spaz, he never spazzed. If anything, he was probably being a smart aleck. when it came down to Rex Ryan and his comments, and he let a small moment become a big thing. That's what happens with people who think they know you, or they think that. Let me break it down. So the thing on Shador was he didn't know if he took football serious, or he was arrogant, or he was, you know what I'm saying, full of himself, right? So when he hears somebody that's in disagreement with who he is as a player or who he is as a person, and he responds, then it's like, oop, there you go, he responded, oop, there it is, oop, told you. That's what we're getting at. It's like you're not seeing the things, you're not seeing what made him respond, you're just looking at the response. That's my thing. Like, we can't even judge his play right now because he hasn't played. He played one time in the preseason. You can't. So now we're really judging him on who he is as a person. We can't judge him as a player yet because he hasn't played. And people, whether you think that what he's doing is not getting him closer to the field, or it is getting him closer to the field, regardless or not, whatever he does, if Dylan Gabriel don't play well, they're going to go to Shedeur. And then it's up to Shedeur to solidify himself. For right now. This is just for right now. I want you to understand that. We've seen different quarterbacks go to different locations and make a whole new career out of themselves. Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, we have seen it. Them be cast out, go somewhere else, and make a whole new career. That's why I said all of this right now, Shedeur needs to know that this is not the end. Regardless of what happens, if he fails in Cleveland or not, this is not the end. Long as you're going to get another shot. Long as you stay in the league and you work on your craft, you'll get another shot. But let's keep going.
I've been a backup before. And if you want to get on that field, trust me, it's going to be judged and graded by more than just your performance. Especially if you're playing quarterback. Good Lord. Have you been on a football team? Anybody who's criticizing what I'm talking about right now? Are you kidding me? You know how many times coach is looking at a depth chart, and he's looking at a player, and he's looking at another player at the same position, and they're so close, he starts taking it way off the field. Which one of them I think I could trust more?
This is true. This is absolutely true. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like Shedeur I'm glad he's trying to get to the why. I haven't heard nobody try to get to the why he's doing what he's doing. They're just judging on or saying what they think will happen, or this going to happen in the future because he did do this, or they're not getting to the why. I remember when I was playing football and I was in the quarterback battle, which was a long time ago, and it don't matter, but it was me and a guy named Greg. And Greg was playing quarterback longer than me, but I was more talented. I had the bigger arm. I can use my legs. He can use his legs, but I had the bigger arm. I had more control of the offense. I was more pass friendly. Like, I opened the offense up for what Coach Mike wanted to do. You feel what I'm saying? He wanted to run the ball, play action, and throw deep over that. Greg didn't really have the arm strength for that, but he had the legs. I end up missing practice because my parents couldn't take me to practice or something like that. I think I missed the day, and he benched me. Like, he benched me for the first guy. I had to sit there and watch. Even though we won the game, I had to sit there and watch. He did put me in at the last two plays, and I end up, like, it was a rainy day. I remember this very well. It was a rainy day, and I went back for the pass. On my back foot, I slipped on the mud, didn't get the ball off. He grilling me like, "You got to get the ball out your hands. You got to," like, but I'm like, damn, he didn't want to hear it, but it's kind of like, that's how I knew, like, okay, he really wants me to be the starter. It's just that he wants to be able to, you know what I'm saying, count on me. But what I'm trying to say is like, but there's another aspect of, we're not getting interviewed after games and all that. But it's not that deep. That's what I'm saying. Like, for Shador, it's kind of like he's the only third string quarterback that media is running to. And it's kind of like, bro, like, if that's what I'm saying, if I'm Shedeur, at some point, you're going to have to pull a Marshawn Lynch. I'm sorry. And I know it's going to make a big deal, because if you think about it, even Marshawn Lynch, at the time when he was doing that, it was frowned upon. But it made him safe though, because it was kind of like the only thing you can talk about is he didn't say nothing, or he didn't say that much, or you know what I'm saying, he made a phrase. The phrase becomes more of the topic than what you actually said. And that's how you can spin it. But you will also lose out on, you know what I'm saying, different things, because as you can see, Pete Carroll didn't want to give him the ball on the 2-yard line in the Super Bowl, because who you think the media gonna run to if he scores that touchdown to you know what I'm saying, at the end of the game, whatever the case may be? Marshawn Lynch. You think Marshawn Lynch gonna change up what he been doing to talk to the media because it's the Super Bowl? Did you not see the Super Bowl press when they went early on? I'm just here so I don't get fined. If they would have gave him that ball, that's, you feel what I'm saying? That's the game within the game that Marcellus Wiley and all these pros are talking about. You feel what I'm saying? Like, besides you doing well on the field, are you marketable for the team? Yes, Shedeur is marketable for the team because he sells jerseys, but like, can you be the face of the franchise? There we go. That's what they're talking about. Like, are you a reliable face of the franchise? And that's why they're scared to put him in, and he does well, because then they're going to want him as the starter, and then it's going to be, we don't know what's going to happen when we open up the floodgates. You feel me?
Which one of them is going to give me the least issue? Which one of them is going to be the least of a distraction? Which one of them people going to rally around the most? Which one of them is going to be first in? Like, they just start. Which one of them is going to do their work? They will take it way beyond completions and touchdowns if they think it's close. So you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not winning any tiebreakers with this type of response. It's a professionalism. People.
Now that he says that, I'm going to end the video and I'm going to ask you this, and you in the comments, you let me know. Is that the reason why Pete Carroll didn't give Marshawn Lynch the ball?